2012 came along, and there was the big, spirit kerfuffle. But and I guess ever since, Canada's been on a. I mean, that's 12, 13 years ago now, and they're still trying to kind of shake that stain of what happened. Was that really just one game under the microscope? Was that something that was maybe being overlooked in Canada? Now they're trying to repair it. Is there a reparation process? Talk on all of that as much as you can for us.
It's a tough topic. Yeah, I think the 2012 stuff, it's outrageous that that's even still being referenced. Like, there's only one player that still exists from that era, and he has turned around, and he's now giving back to the next generation, Morgan Hibbert, and he's changed himself. Like, he of course, like, he's competitive, he's still fiery, but he's completely changed how he behaves on the field, and he mentors young people. Like, he just gives so much to the sport, and to continually kind of drag him, like, it upsets me personally, which I can't even imagine how he would feel, including in like a Reddit post about Canadian Spirit last year. They're like saying that Morgan and I should both not be allowed to coach U24 or something. And it was like, I don't understand like how people can't let go of a reputation. That part's always frustrated me. I actually have an article that I've written that has been like semi-approved by ULTI World, but they want it to be more of a series, and it's called Bad Reputation, and it's about Morgan Hibbert, and it's like a Taylor Swift thing. If you know, you know. And
I
then
don't, but
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But some of it's deserved. Like, we play a more physical game. We play a more physical game within Canada. We play a more physical game when we play in the States as well. And we collectively as a nation are not great at translating our on-field skills to more of a whiff-diff standard. And I'm not sure why. And it's not every team. And my issue is that I wish in general each team would be kind of treated differently. Like, I think in general our women's teams have been finished really high in Spirit. And of course that never gets acknowledged. It always feels like it's an outlier, but I think our women's teams generally do a really great job of kind of conducting themselves in a spirited manner and what people deem as a spirited manner. But for my U24 team, we would play a perfect game. There would be no issues, no physicality. Our team was pleasant. They would congratulate the other team for X, Y, and Z. The Spirit Circle would go flawlessly. They would say they were scared to play us initially because we were Canada, and they'd heard about our reputation, and they said, we felt nothing like that. You were so respectful, and we should get an 8 out of 20. And so it's just something that, like, we just have to deal with. And in the games where maybe we do deserve it a little bit, maybe there was an incident or two, then we'll get a 4 or a 6 or something. And it is tough. I think this last WUC cycle, there were a couple of times where our team was not doing a great job of kind of regulating our emotions. The team we were playing against was using the rules to advantage themselves and kind of disregarding what the advisors were saying consistently, which is the issue I had in U24 as well. And my players were getting frustrated, and instead of continuing to try to make the calls, it was slowing the game down, which is really frustrating. They would bump people off of them on the mark. And so, like, what it looks like is that we're being physical, which in those 2 incidences where that did happen, that was true. But it's the accumulation of, like, feeling like teams are taking advantage of the rules and doing it intentionally. It is our responsibility to not meet fire with fire. It's our responsibility to try to rise above it. So it's a complicated answer. I feel like people need to let go of it a little bit, or at least give each iteration of Team Canada the benefit of the doubt, or innocent until proven guilty. But on the other hand, I think there have been enough incidences that our national team programs need to take more accountability for being proactive for Spirit stuff, which I feel like I have been for U24. We're already talking about it this cycle. We already coming up with team norms about how we want to deal with calls. That was my
question: is the, like, as far as the proactivity goes, like, is it addressed? And you did touch on that before, but hey, we're playing from behind the 8 ball here. We have to be extra, and as much as that sucks, and so would you imagine every campaign for Team Canada since then that is something that is at least brought up at the start of campaigns?
I mean, it should be. I don't know if all head coaches are mandated. We don't exactly have resources for that either from our national governing body. It is something that we're like looking into trying to create as like a standard way that Team Canada wants to kind of be perceived, or at least how we want to behave at these international events. But at this point, this doesn't exist. So it's on the onus of each head coach and coaching team to kind of bring this forward. And for me, so much of that, like my U24 team this cycle, there's not going to be a single issue. I would put money on it. I've got the most lovely group of humans that like so much of my ability to change our spirit at Worlds was in my athlete selection. And I was very careful to pick athletes that I knew would uphold the standard really high of spirit. But it's not true for every team, and there hasn't been accountability for players historically.